Hello everyone, welcome to the Kubernetes series which we have started on the YouTube now. Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing this videos and channel. Okay, and I truly appreciate your timing and support. And I promise to make it worth you while as we learn together, right? So let's deep dive into it and understand whole Kubernetes concept together. Okay, and we are going to deep dive into one of the crucial areas in DevOps and Kubernetes, that is called deployment strategies. Okay, so why we are using this deployment strategies? Okay, when we have already a replica controller, okay, and deployment controllers, we have replication controllers, we have replica set, we have, and then we have services, we have. Okay, so different services also we have learned, right? Cluster IP, node port, load balancer, namespace, and headless. So these all services are there. Then what is the need of this strategies? Why this is coming in picture? Okay, so when you do the deployment using the YAML manifest file, right? We don't want the downtime whenever the new version is getting upgraded, right? So for that, we are going to use deployment strategies. Okay, this is one of the important strategies, or one of the important thing a DevOps engineer or Kubernetes engineer should be aware of. Without this, there will be a huge impact on the system if you not understand this, if you not implement these strategies. And this is also an interview as well as your certification based questions will come on this topic. Okay. So first thing is it will definitely minimize the downtime. Okay. It will do the safe rollouts. Okay. And it will do the faster rollbacks. So let's say something got break, right? And you wanted in the production, you have deployed something and it got break. So immediately you wanted to roll it back. Okay. So those kind of situations you can handle using deployment strategies. If you wanted to roll out new changes, a new version. Okay. So how you will route it to X number of people or X number of X percentage of people. So that is something you have to understand using the deployment strategies only. Okay, so let's get started. So if you see in my screen, I have mentioned here there are 6 deployment strategies. Okay, and everything is used in the real world. Today we are going to demo all, right? Recreate. What is recreate deployment? What is ruling or ramped deployment? What is blue green deployment, right? We will discuss in detail and we'll demo the Canary deployment as well, right? We will not do the deploy hands-on on shadow and A by B testing, but we will discuss here, okay, theoretically completely, right? So let's understand first what is recreate, right? So recreates means it, the name itself is suggesting it is going to recreate everything, right? So what it does is it stops the older version completely and then it deploys the new version, right? So you understand, like something you are stopping and something you are deploying. After that you are recreating. Okay, first you are deleting everything and then you are recreating everything, right? So between this time, right, there will be a downtime, right? There will be a downtime, but this recreate still we are using, right? So it is mentioned as yes, downtime will be there because we are first we are uh, we are deleting everything and then we are recreating, so there will be a downtime. Okay, then these are the some different points. So let me quickly come back on these points as well. I'll explain this table. First we are discussing this point. Okay, so it stops the older version before it started creating the new one, right? Or it deletes the previous version and then it creates the new one. That's a recreate deployment. Okay, I will let me give you an example also. So you assume like you are standing in some park, and after outside the park there is a food truck, right? And we call this we will completely understand this deployment strategies with two examples. One is we have Australia website, one is India website. Okay, so I'm saying, like, let's say you have a India website. Okay, you consider it as a India truck. Okay, so now outside the park, right? You are going to eat the food from the India truck or India website, right? And you are eating, your everything is done. Okay, what will happen in recreate model is, first you shut down. Basically, let's say you are completely shutting down the whole India model, so people will not be able to eat outside the park for some certain interval of time, right? So what I'm saying is, let's assume this is a park, okay, and outside the park there is a truck or truck. When I'm saying the truck, it means a minibus kind of thing which is serving the food, okay, mobile van. So you assume all the traffic users are going and having the food here. This is India website, okay. So they are all going and having a food outside the, yeah, everyone is going and having the food from the India website or India truck. Now you assume that after some time what you did is you suddenly stopped this India website, India truck or van, okay, and what you said is, I will deploy a new kind of food which is serving Indian foods right here. So let's say this is serving an Indian foods here to you. And now suddenly what you'll say, no, what I will do is, what I will have is, I will create a new food van which is going to serve the Australian food outside the park. So when I deleted and I recreated, right? When I deleted and when I recreated, so there is a downtime when I'm doing this. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, when I delete it, right? So users will not be able to eat anything at this point of time. Okay. But then when I'm recreating anything, recreating the new model, the users will be able to serve, or they will be able to eat food from the new van, right? So this kind of deployment is called recreate deployment, right? It's very simple to understand. First, I am deleting everything, okay, and then I am recreating everything, right? So that is how this kind of deployment work. Okay, so this kind of deployment mainly works for where we implement. So it is very simple basically, right? First, uh, first I will delete everything and then I will recreate everything. I will delete everything and I will recreate it. So this kind of deployment is very simple, okay, and it is mostly used for your dev and test. Okay, development and your testing team will use it. But what is the drawback of this recreate? The drawback, the main drawback for recreate is there will be a downtime, right? Let's assume that you are using a production workspace, okay, or you are using some application, and if any company or any organization does like this, and for a certain period of time your whole website or your app will be down, right? And you cannot let that happen. Any organization cannot let that happen because it will directly impact the user interface or user base. Okay. People will not get satisfied, and uh, they will look for the another opportunities or another source, and they will move out of your business. Okay, so this kind of deployment only we are using for dev and test, right? Now let's come to the next one, that is called rolling or ramped deployment. So what is this? Upgrade the apps gradually, one pod at a time. Okay, so I'm writing one pod at a time. It does not mean only it is going for do for a one pod, but it can do multiple as well. But the important thing to understand is it does the upgradation gradually. Okay, so imagine upgrading the customers one by one. Like, okay, so let's say there was a India chef also here in this van, right? And as the India chef is retiring from this van, an Australian chef is also joins back the kitchen in this van. Okay, so when the India chef is getting retired, Australia chef is learning or understanding the concept. What will happen is, some customer will get the food from the India chef, and some customer will get food from the Australian chef, right? Because both are there, but the first one is getting retired, and most of the traffic will be routing to the next one, right? So this is called rolling upgrade strategy or ramped deployment. Okay, so in this table also you can see, right, it is a gradual pod it is mentioned. Okay, and it is mostly used in CI/CD pipelines, right? So as I said, the good thing about this kind of deployment is that we will not have any downtime. There will be zero downtime. It is mentioned here, right? It is having a zero down. Okay, then it is simple to implement. Obviously, it is very simple. I mean, you can implement using YAML script, YAML manifest file. I will show you in the demo as well. Okay, and if you talk about the drawbacks, what we have, okay, it cannot be easily paused or rolled back. Okay, so that will be a very difficult because you cannot roll back the changes directly into the rolling deployment. Okay, it also does not provides like traffic percentage, right? Okay, X number of percentage or traffic I will send it to this chef or this chef, Indian chef or Australian chef or any kind of uh, if application is there, right? Because we are taking an example of chef, we are discussing that context. Okay, so it does not takes control or it does not route like that. Okay, next thing is here, if you see, next thing we have is blue green deployment, right? So what blue green deployment does is it basically, we have, let's say you have two versions, version 1 and version 2, right? And what it will do is it will run both the version together. Okay, your version 1 will also run, version 2 will also run. What I'm trying to say is say for example I will create another, sorry. So you assume like there is, this is India van and this is Australian one, right? Which we are discussing, which is serving the food outside the park, right? So what will happen is in case of blue green deployment is we will we will deploy both the versions, version 1 as well as version 2, and we will let it run both the versions. Okay, and then what we will do is slowly and suddenly we will route the traffic to another one and we will just move everything on the next deployment or next version. Okay, so because it is already running and I have removed the previous version, the users will come to, or the request will start coming to the latest version, that is version number 2, right? So in this case you have understood, right, there is zero downtime. Here also there was zero downtime. And rolling upgrade or rolling deployment also there was a zero downtime, and here also there is a zero downtime. Okay, because in the previous case, one chef was there, another chef was leaving, the request was going to both, and slowly it started routing to only one chef, right, or one pod or one service, one application. In rolling upgrade in blue green, what we did, there was two applications or two chefs or two vans were there, both were sending the request, right? And suddenly we deleted immediately, I mean at some certain point of time we deleted one of the pod, and then the request started going to the latest version of, or latest application, right? That is called the blue green deployment. So here we do not have any downtime. Okay, and what, let's say if you wanted to do any rollback, so I can do it, right? Immediately I can create the previous version and I can start routing the traffic to the previous version. Okay, so that is also very much possible here. So instead rollback capability can be done here. Okay, so rollback is very easy here. Okay, that's very easy here, and it is safe for production. So mainly most of the team or most of the organization, they use blue green deployment strategies in the production, right? Okay, so what is the problem with this environment? Okay, do you think any drawback here? Yeah, actually yes, because you have to maintain two environments here. You have to maintain two versions, and then you just have to switch. Okay, and the another problem is there is a manual switch is required, because when I'm switching from here, okay, when I'm doing routing the traffic from here, I'm telling that, okay, now go to this one. So that's kind of manual switch is required. Okay, so I need to route the traffic based on whatever version I have in my system. Okay, so that's the blue-green deployment. But yes, it is very safe, very easy. Full swap, we have more control, and it is easy, and it is used in production as well. Okay, now let's understand what is shadow deployment strategy. Okay, so do not have any kind of downtime in shadow also. Why we do not have? Because what we do is we create an we create an another version of the application, right? Like this, or let's say what we do is we start duplicating the production request. Okay, let's say this is your production, right? And let's say this is your main your requests are going to Australia. So what we will do is, in case of shadow deployment, we will we will mimic, or we will duplicate the request which we are going to the production, and what we will do is we will send them to a new version. Okay, so we will just mimic the request which are going to the production, and we will just do the testing by, like, we will start sending the request to the new version. Okay, so users are still sending the request to the new this version, but what I did is I am sending similar kind of request to the latest version, and I'm testing it, right? So this kind of deployment is mostly used in load testing. Okay, because what I'm doing is I am mimicking, or I am duplicating the request, or I am just duplicating the request which are going to the production, and I'm sending it to the latest version. Okay, and once I will validate everything, what I will do is I will just remove this one, and it will go into the latest version. Okay, so this kind of deployment strategy is called shadow deployment. Okay, so just if we since we have discussed about the vans and the food outside the park, right? Let's say, so let's say India is serving, yeah, your India van is serving all the Indian foods here. Okay, and currently the Australian van or food will be in hidden nature. Okay, we will not show that. All the people who are visiting this park will only go to the India van. Okay, and they will have the food, right? Right, and what we will do is we will start performing few people to this as well. Okay, we will just copy, send some of the request to the Australian version. Okay, so this is purely or completely used for the testing purpose. Okay, this kind of deployment strategies. Okay, so I hope you have understood here. Okay, so what is here? There is one term I have written. What is istio, right? ISTIO. Okay, so for this kind of system, you need a Istio app, or you need to install this Istio here, kind of mesh. Okay, and it is going to help in your testing. Let me discuss in this detail after some time. Okay, and what is Canary? Okay, Canary means, let's say you are trying to deploy X percentage of chef to this. Okay, and Y percentage of chef here. So you said, like, okay, okay, my users, or my user base, some of the user will go to X, some of my users will go to Y, right? Or India van and Australia van for the food. And then suddenly slowly what you will do is you will start reducing the volume here, and you will start increasing the volume of the number of people going in this area or this van for the food, right? So this kind of deployment strategy is called Canary. Okay, another interesting, there is actually one story. So canaries are the bird. If you will search on the Google, right, these are very small yellow color. That is, these are birds. Okay, so what happens is, in this mine testing, those who are miners, right, when they were going inside the mines, they used to carry the canary birds uh, inside a jar, some kind of jar. So when they were going inside when they were going inside the canal, right, or in the mines, they used to understand uh, to ensure that okay, if there is any gas leakage is there, so they used to carry these canary birds with them, and these birds were able to smell or sense the gas very fast as compared to humans. Okay, so these birds will either start making some disturbance, okay, they will start crying, they will start dying. Okay, some birds will die if there is huge gas is there. So like that they started making more when they were carrying the birds, right, they started making uh, some kind of disturbance, and the miners were able to understand okay, there is a gas leakage or gases, more number of gases are available. Okay, so at that point of time they will stop, the miners will stop and they will not proceed further. Okay, so they will understand like okay, this is the last limit I have to go, and post that we cannot go. But so this kind of deployment strategies is called canary. So there is a story, I think we should read it on the Google as well. Okay, and this is also a safe release, basically kind of safe release. So miners, what miners were doing is they were carrying the birds inside the canal, right? Let's say this miners are going inside the canal, and they will stop immediately at this point of time whenever they feel that birds have started making any issues or noise. So let's say they are going like this, and they have a jar here basically. Okay, and they are holding a jar, and this inside this there will be a birds. Okay, there will be a birds inside this. Okay, so these are our birds are there. So these birds will start dying, or they will start they will sense it quickly that okay, there is some gas leakage, and oppose that what they will do is miners will either return or they will inform the superiors or supervisors. Okay, so this is a kind of safe release. They used to carry a canary bird for their work. So this term is also used in our deployment as well. So X percentage, till X percentage we will send the traffic, and slowly we will start routing the traffic to another application. Okay, so this is all about the canary deployment. Let me just undo this. Okay, now what is A by B testing? Okay, so you assume like okay, you are running two vans or two kitchens are running, right, and customers use promo code or from Australia's are routed to a new version, and other stays in the India. Okay, so that kind of strategy is called A by B testing. So let me explain what I mean in detail. So it shows right here, it is telling us shows different version to users based on rules like locations or header, right? So what I say is what I gave an example is, let's say you have a promo code. Okay, there are two vans, India van and Australia van. So you have a promo code for Australia. So users will start routing to Australia van, and they will have the food served here. Okay. And if I say okay, you have to go to the Australia and have the food here, so people will go and eat the food. So what I'm doing is I'm telling that okay, on based on the rule, either I'm giving the promo codes. Okay, that is nothing but a headers. I will say like okay, you have to go to this particular address location. Okay, so that is called headers here, the but based on the address location. Or I will tell okay, you have to go to particular location. Okay, so go to the yellow one, okay, and have food there only. So I'm fixing the location based on the rules users have started going. So this kind of deployment is called, as deployment strategies is called A by B deployment strategy. Okay, so I hope you have understood this deployment strategies and deployment concept all one by one. Okay, so nothing left here. I think we have discussed more all the deployment strategies. The important thing to learn here is we are going to use mostly in production blue-green deployment. Okay, in pipelines we will use rolling, and in development and testing we will use a recreate. A by B testing you will use in case you want to do a deployment based on or deployment testing based on the location. Okay, so what I'm writing is user experience if you wanted to check, right? So you will ask X number of users, okay, go and have a food at yellow box or yellow van. So people will go at the yellow van and they will have the food, and they will come back and they will tell you, okay, the food was not good or food was very good. So this kind of you are just routing certain number of people or certain users to yellow van for the food based on the location or the headers, right? So this kind of deployment strategy is called A by B testing. So if you wanted to perform this kind of operations, you have to use A by B testing, right? Canary, if you wanted to send certain groups or certain users, okay, based on there is no rules, but you just mention like, okay, I wanted to X percentage of people to go to this food venture or this van for the food. So they will start routing to that particular area. Okay. Shadow deployment, as I told, it will just mimic the real world traffic and it will route it for the testing purpose. Blue green deployment, you will run both the versions parallelly and you will immediately just switch the traffic. Okay. Rolling or ramped, as I told, you will slowly start gradually increasing the traffic to the latest one. Okay. With the example when we understood, there were two chefs. The first when first one is leaving, another one came for the food preparation in the van. Okay, so he is also preparing the food while another one is ready to leave, but at the same time, during by the time he will leave, he will also serve the purpose or he will serve the users with the food quality. So at the same point of time, both the users will serve, and then immediately one will leave, right? So there is no downtime in this one as well, right? And the recreate is the simple, but it is a traditional old version. So where you will first deploy something, okay? Then what you will do is you will delete that. Then if you wanted to do the version upgrade from V1 to V2, okay? So let's say this is V1 and you wanted to do for V2. Okay, so what you will do first, you will delete it, and during this point of time there will be downtime. Okay, the users will not serve users will not be able to eat anything, so this is a downtime system. And then immediately once you will deploy, the users will be able to get the request to V2. Okay, so I think this video became long of 28 30 minutes. I think we should stop it, and the new video we should do the demo as well. Okay, so what I will try to do is in the next video, I will demo you all the deployment strategies. Okay, so this is the blue green, this is canary I have written, recreate and ruling, right? All the deployment strategies I have created here. So maybe we will start from recreate deployments strategies, and then we will start of we will proceed for ruling, canary and blue green as well. Okay, so I will stop this video and we will meet in the next video, and I'll upload it after some time. Thank you guys. I hope you have understood all the deployment strategies and the concept here. If you have not understood something or you need more clarification, just ping or drop a message or in the chat or in the video comments, right? You can just update the comments what you wanted to understand more in detail. I will try to add those comments as well. Okay. Thank you everyone. Have a great day and kindly subscribe to the channel. Thank you again.